Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrificed my time so you don't have to. So, gonna say it straight up. I messed up. I screwed up, and I'm taking accountability. I know that word's so gross nowadays because of the people who use the word, but I can't think of a better word to use in order to, talk about the situation. And I did my due diligence. I rectified the situation. The person pointed me in the right direction, and I gathered all the receipts in order to recant my statement and then make a legitimate quality video. I privated the other video so you guys don't have to see it. I'll get more into the context as we get throughout the video. Darren Walker 257, shout out to you. Unfortunately, your original comment was in the spam likely session. I swear to God, bro, I promise you on my son's life, I try to take it out and I try to pin the comment in order for everybody to see it, like I do anybody else's tweet or anybody else's comment, who corrects me or corrects a video. I do this all the time. Yours unfortunately happened to be in spam likely, and I try to take it out so I could pin it, and in the process of trying to take it out, I think I deleted it by accident. I'm just letting you know so you don't think anything malicious happened. I didn't do it on purpose, and if you would like to retype the comment, you can do it and I'll pin it, I promise you, but I didn't do it on purpose. I legitimately try to pin it like I do anybody else's comment who corrects the situation. I'm letting you know, so I'm saying it on video form, so it's not, oh, did you do it? I'm letting you know right now. So go ahead and do it. And he's the guy who pretty much brought all the receipts to let me know. Well, I mean, he brought the initial statement. I had to do my due diligence and do the rest of the work. But he's the one that kind of brought up everything to let me know, nah, Devontae, this was wrong. Check this out. So I want to go down this little, I have all the links down in the description box below, but let me give a little bit of context to this real quick. So yesterday I made this video pretty much going after AEW. What's new? Because apparently all these people consistently come out and they talk about WWE in a negative light. They always say things such as, oh, WWE's history, this, alleged accusations, this, that, and the third. And I said to myself, well, I mean, two can play at that game. Not that I'm necessarily defending WWE because I bury them every chance I get, but I hate this. I always hate the whole, parameter completely leaning towards one side and it not being even out when there's clear evidence that the other side has done a lot of malicious things in its own right. So I took it upon myself to make a video where I started to call out a couple of people, whether it was miscellaneous things that I didn't really pinpoint because it's been out there for a while, such as Jericho and Jay Lethal. But in particular, I focused on three subjects. Jimmy Havoc, which it has absolutely been proven that he's an absolute piece of shit, so fuck him. BJ Whitman, also a piece of shit, fuck him. But Will Ospreay was the third subject of that video. And I started to pretty much talk about the story in regards to him and Pollyanna, which goes as such. Scott Wainwright, who is Will Ospreay's best friend, was accused by Pollyanna of assaulting her, raping her outright, right? And apparently Will Ospreay, he did drop a tweet going after Pollyanna for essentially going after one of his best friends without having any evidence, right? Which is just right, and it makes every sense in the world. Unfortunately, a situation followed afterwards where Pollyanna was blacklisted from a bunch of wrestling companies. Mind you, just to keep in the context, she retired in 2016. Just keep that in the context when we talk about this going a little bit further. So that's how this all started, right? Well, during the Speak Out movement in 2020, apparently all this stuff started to come out in regards to Will Ospreay. I mean, all this stuff was pretty much behind, closed doors, and it started to come out that Pollyanna started to release all this information in regards to Will Ospreay, pretty much taking up for his mate and all this other kind of shit. Well, unfortunately, because IWO at the time clarified saying, no, Will Ospreay absolutely blacklisted her. Like, he totally called us and he totally did this. And that's the information that I was going off of. That's what all the articles were stating that I was reading in regards to speaking out and all this stuff before Darren told me about this Reddit post. And then I looked at the Reddit post and then I typed in this specific, the specific search terms, and then all of this shit started to pop up in the internet, which is, that's my fuck up. I should have did better due diligence because it's not like any of this information wasn't out there. But IWL, they put out a tweet back on October 15th of 2020 stating, hang on. This should be a moment where we stand united in support of those affected by the death of Ryan Smile. Instead, some are ripping into Will Ospreay. To avoid any misconception, we have to clarify something. Will did not contact us directly about unbooking Polly. The venue did. Regardless of your opinion about him, no mistake justifies the hate that Will constantly gets. It's shameful that some people will stop at nothing. Well, to be fair, IWO, I mean, you're the ones that put out the initial tweet, but like I said, specifically for me, doesn't matter. Even though, you fucked up, I fucked up by not clarifying any of your, or at least doing my due diligence. Or to be fair, I can't even say they fucked up because I fucked up because this is years ago. This is 4 years later. I should have known better. I should have done better research. But nevertheless, though, Oizen, he responds, because I guess that's one of Will Ospreay's friends also, to the IWL thing, and he gets further clarification. He says, finally, IWL clarifying that Will didn't get Polly taken off the show. Gary Vanderhorn, Resgal owner or co-owner, called Ruben and he did it. It had nothing to do with Will, and Gary used Will's name to make Ruben change the booking. This is important. So that's what he states. And mind you, if you are out of the loop, if you're new to the channel or anything like that, the links are down in the description box below. And I know people do not like Dave Meltzer and they don't like anything in regards to what he says, but I just want to clarify that Meltzer is very, very good friends with Will Ospreay, and he took it upon himself to not really talk about the situation outright, or at the very least, let me just say this, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, in regards to Will Ospreay in the midst of the accusations when Will was going through all this stuff. I couldn't find a post at all. Maybe he deleted it, I don't know. I couldn't find a post at all of Meltzer weighing in on the situation in the middle of Will going through the situation at the time during the Speak Out movement in 2020. But just to clarify, Meltzer did eventually come out and he gave an entire statement. I know people don't like to cite Meltzer, but he's close to Will Ospreay, and I don't see any reason that he would lie about this. This isn't research. This is him coming from his own perspective. So check it out. This is what Dave said. With Ospreay, the charge is that he attempted to blacklist a woman wrestler named Pollyanna, who claimed that who claimed, damn it, hold up, fucking Reddit, stupid shit. Hold up, look at the desktop version. All right, try it again. With Ospreay, the charge is that he attempted to blacklist a woman named Pollyanna, who had claimed to have been sexually assaulted by one of Ospreay's closest friends. In contacting a number of people who both promoted wrestling in the UK or were deeply involved in that scene, including the bigger promotions, as well as statements by Progress publicly, all said Ospreay never did that with them. There was a promotion called the IWL where the promoter claimed he did, blaming Ospreay for the fact that he got a call from a venue that he had booked that told him not to use her, and to save his show had to cancel her appearance. There was a paper trail that the venue did contact him saying not to use her because they had gotten word that others who were on the show citing women wrestlers would be upset about it, and he acquiesced. And then the venue changed his tune and said he could put her back on the show, and the promoter made the call that he'd already canceled her. It also listed a name who originally complained, and the name is someone that I did not recognize. It all becomes sordid. It becomes a sordid mess because you can say evidence was fabricated, or say maybe the guy whose name complained may have known Ospreay or been axed. And it's essentially saying Ospreay asked the guy to do it on behalf of him, but nothing has come out saying otherwise. But nevertheless, continuing on, it's a terrible situation because any investigation, the story is categorized as trying to sully the name of a sexual assault victim. We'll talk about that later, by the way. The issues between Ospreay and Pollyanna appeared to be twofold. There was the claim of a sexual assault against one of his closest friends, and later Pollyanna and Bea Priestley, or as you guys know, or Blair Davenport, were not on good terms because on that claim that Pollyanna physically bullied Priestley when he got started in wrestling. Priestley could go, what the hell, he? I think they mean she. Come on, Dave. Priestley will go on to become Ospreay's live-in girlfriend and I believe fiance. Pollyanna later said Priestley said awful things about her to other wrestlers in the locker room. Without mentioning names, Ospreay made a tweet on November 17, 2017, without mentioning a name, which read, and I quote, "Think it's disgusting that people can use social media to accuse people of sexual assault. More than a handful of people know the real you. Trying to use your position to isolate and assault someone is pathetic. Ospreay immediately came under fire for it, deleted it, and the next day apologized, saying, and I quote, "I cannot express how sorry I am that I may have turned people into thinking I'm so careless about this subject. I care way too much about my fans and the victims. I really hope you guys can forgive me and will happily listen to any suggestions to make this right again." This past week, he wrote, "Here's a statement regarding my deleted tweet from 3 years ago. More importantly, my apology to Pollyanna. If there is anything more I can do, please reach out and keep speaking out. Please know I haven't committed any crime and I am one of the good guys. I'm just severely uneducated." She responded, "You are not sorry. You did blacklist me. When I first messaged you, your friend's missus, you then told everyone I had lied about us sleeping together." There it is. I know I have sources from so many different people telling me Bia would be saying awful things about me in the locker room. When Progress, the leading UK promotion at that time that regularly featured women's wrestling, came under fire for not booking her, with the idea that since Ospreay was one of their biggest stars, he was responsible, they claimed they stopped booking her on behalf as she no longer would take bookings. Pollyanna did not post on social media in late 2016 that she was retiring from wrestling, although she did a handful of matches after the points. And by the way, if you guys care, I got the tweets in real time clarifying all this stuff, and this is just a complete mess. But I think I want to, before I get on Pollyanna, because I got a lot to say about her, I do want to talk about this real quick because I think this is the most important part. And like I said, I really wish I would have done my due diligence at first, because I know better, and I should know better. Especially giving, and I hate to use politics within wrestling in this regard right here, but knowing what I know, especially within the political field, I should know better to just jump to conclusions on behalf of a woman and a sexual assault case. I should know better. When I tell you, when Darren sent me that link and I read all this shit, I'm literally in my head screaming, how fucking dumb are you, bro? How fucking dumb are you? Ain't gonna happen again, though. Check this out, though. This is what Will Ospreay said. And mind you, this is just disgusting. It's outright disgusting. This is during the whole Speak Out movement stuff. Check it out. And I quote, "Few weeks ago, I came very close to something I know I regret. I'm still dragging my feet, but I'm getting better. I'm still smiling. Barely, but a smile nonetheless. Skibbity," which is suicide, "isn't an option. Even when you feel like you've dropped the world, learning and pushing forward to be better is an option. Thank you to the people that have ever made me smile or laugh and been there to pick me up. Because of you, my heart still beats. I love you all." Again, this is going off of the situation in regards to Will Ospreay. We already talked about this, but it states in this article also. And, it's just outright disgusting. Because it's not just Will Ospreay who is going through this situation also, or who went through this situation. Obviously, his name has been cleared since. And mind you, there are still articles. I've seen an article from July of this year, or either June or July, still talking about Will Ospreay. Now, granted, I didn't look at the entire article, so maybe they did have a bit of a clarification, but people are still talking about this situation. And it's like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, and I added fuel to that flame. Now, in regards to Pollyanna, I'm not going to call her any names, because the last thing I need is for this video or anything to happen to this video, because I need this video to stay up. Now, I'm not going to call her any names as far as explicitly saying any swear words, but I will call her by definition what she is. A harlot, a Jezebel, manipulative, and incredibly dishonest. Why I say this is because from what it looks like Pollyanna was indeed Will Ospreay's ex. If for nothing else, they had sex. That's pretty much what she said. She said Will Ospreay lied to a bunch of people saying that they never slept together, which is their business. I mean, who cares? What it sounds like to me is that Pollyanna is a jilted ex. Or, At worst, she's a person who got dicked down and sad that no one called her back. She was a booty call, either a jilted ex or a booty call. And she's jealous of the fact that Bea Priestley, the now Blair Davenport at the time, was dating Will Ospreay. So what she did was she essentially did the mean girl thing where she went around and she started to essentially bully Bea Priestley, pretty much because she took her man. And obviously with Will Ospreay being upset about all this, because I did read stuff yesterday about Pollyanna essentially telling wrestlers to stiff other wrestlers, stuff like this. Now maybe that could just be something completely not aligned with this topic at all, but considering that Bea Priestley claims that she was bullied by this girl, or at the very least there are claims that she was being bullied by this girl, one can argue that she most likely was stiffing Bea Priestley. So this girl's an outright horrible human being. Now that's just that in reference to that. It gets a little bit deeper when it comes to Pollyanna. Now, I further did my due diligence and I tried to look up anything in regards to Scott Wainwright being arrested, anything in regards to, just anything attesting to the fact that he indeed did the crimes that he has been alleged to have done. Because like I said, with Jimmy Havoc, he has not been arrested, but he pretty much outright said that he did everything that he did by essentially saying that, hey, I'm going to get help for substance abuse. I'm going to get help, therapy, all this other kind of stuff, because no one should go through the things that I put them through, essentially is what he says. So he outright admitted to doing what he did for the most part. Obviously, with BJ Whitmer, there's a goddamn police report. Dude took a plea deal. Clearly, obviously, he did it. With this right here, I literally can't find nothing tying Scott to it. I can't. I have nothing but Pollyanna's word. Everybody. That was the problem with the Speak Out movement. Now, let me not say everybody, but essentially a large amount of these so-called victims, and that was my problem with the initial movement, was that they had no corroborating evidence. They had nothing in regards to police reports. They had nothing in regards to even friends witnessing the event. Some of them didn't even have corroborating evidence in regards to friends even knowing that the incident happened until they talked about it during the entire Speak Out movement in itself. We have nothing to go off of as far as Scott Wainwright doing anything wrong besides Pollyanna's word. And it is outright disgusting. It is outright filth. This person, I can't think of another word to describe her besides outright fucking evil. And like I said, I need to do better. And I can't believe I did this, just knowing outright how the hell I usually talk about situations like this. I do not believe a victim. I do not believe anything in regards to a suspect or a perpetrator. I believe evidence. And to be honest with you, in this day and age, I believe the perpetrator before I believe the victim, especially in a situation like this, because it's been too many instances of either lying or heavily exaggerating what the fuck actually happened. I legitimately said that I have a new rule. You don't have any evidence. You don't have a police report. I'm not going to listen to a goddamn thing you say at all. I don't give a fuck what the hell you said happened. Even if it did happen, that's on you. You should have did your due diligence and you should have fucking made a police report at the goddamn time. You didn't do it, so therefore it falls back on you. And this happened 4 years ago. All the information right there, and I didn't fucking do my due diligence, and now I got an egg on my face because I fucked up. Will Ospreay nearly took his own life, and here I am 4 years later contributing to that same stuff that he just now went out of his way to have his name cleared for. It's horrible and it's disgusting on my part. Nobody else's fault. My part. I spread misinformation. I did that through my platform. And it's disgusting. Because in the end of the day, Pollyanna, a horrible human being, a human garbage who, again, at this point, knowing how much she's pretty much fabricated, and she essentially did it for the most part out of whole cloth, because again, I have nothing to go off the fact that Scott Wainwright did anything wrong. And maybe he's still wrestling. Maybe he's still wrestling. But dude legitimately obviously had his life ruined because of the situation, and I have nothing to go off of. It's just scary. It's disgusting. It is scary knowing there are so many things wrong, bro. There's so many things. I'm wrong for pretty much contributing to the outrage mob, who, by the way, died down. So I jumped into a mob that's not even fucking there anymore. And even worse, another guy related to the situation, which, by the way, Will Ospreay had every right to defend him because that's his homeboy. Who the fuck isn't gonna go on behalf of their homeboy to defend them? I can't find anything. Not here to say that he's innocent, but I can't find anything. And this time I legitimately did my due diligence. I looked this guy's name up, fucking reverse imaged him and it always came back to Pollyanna. No police reports, nothing. So, innocent until proven guilty. Until someone can bring something up to me, innocent until proven guilty. And by bringing something up to me, I mean something outright fucking dead to rights, because I'm sick and tired of this shit, bro. Sick and tired of this shit. Man, Will Ospreay ain't watching my video, but to his fans, shit, I can't do anything but apologize. Like I said, I can't do anything but apologize. Unlist the video and post this video instead, taking my L, because that's a L. That's a huge fucking L. That's a huge, ginormous fucking L. I'm telling you, man. This shit right here, man. The next time a situation pop up like this, I just gotta do better. Better due diligence. Anytime I talk about a situation, fucking report. Look it up. I don't give a fuck. Look it up. If it sounds ridiculous, look it up. If it's a horrible situation, don't report on it as far as knowing the details. I might report on it as far as at least acknowledging the situation, but god damn it. And I've been doing that for a while. This has been the first fuck up I have had legitimately in a long time. Outside of maybe the community post, but I mean a legitimate fuck up, not talking about AEW seats and stuff like that. I mean a legitimate, actual, outright fuck up. Not since the Owen Hart video I did about 3 years ago. Ironically enough, around this time, have I had such a huge fuck up. But it happens, and it did happen. And this is me taking the tomatoes to the face. If I get shit on in the comment section for it, so be it. Them's the consequences. But that's the actual story in regards to the whole situation revolving around Pollyanna and Will Ospreay. From what it looks like, a jolted ex using this as an excuse to go after her ex. Might even possibly be her booty call. Take it for what you will. Link is down in the description box below. Go ahead, guys. So is my name is Devontae, and thanks again, Darren Walker 247. I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P, Ice.